The time came to eat, they were eating. All the other men, they began discussing. They were scholars as well from their fields. They said, what is your view about the Khilafah after Rasulullah? Now the Shia alim said, I thought you meant there will be no debates today. But they said, we just have a question. Can you answer this for us? He said, okay. Can you validate this hadith where Rasulullah says, he who does not know the Imam of his time dies a death of what? Jahiliyyah. He's died like he has been a jahil. No matter what, he memorizes the Quran, does the Hajj, prays, fast. If he does not know the Imam of his time, he has died the death of Jahiliyyah. He made everyone confirm this. They said this hadith is Hasan, it's Sahih, it's allowed, it's good. He said, who was the Imam in the time of Fatima? Does anyone have the courage to say that Bint Rasulullah did not know the Imam of her time? Who was the Imam in Fatima's time? One by one they all got up, they left. And so we find that with our holy personalities, we are blessed to have them. They are that rope which connects us to Allah. And indeed, if you want to follow Imam Sajjad, where he says, worship Allah and don't associate anything with Him, we need these examples who show you this is how you pray, this is how you fast, this is how you treat your neighbors. And so we finish with this. When the time for your sacrifice comes, when Islam needs sacrifice, this is how you sacrifice. You sacrifice yourself, your time, your wealth, and if need be, your children, your family. And like Imam Hassan said, La yawmaka yawmak, ya Aba Abdullah. You sacrifice your women. You see, we only have three things in life. We own three things in life. Our children, our possessions, and our haya, your women, your sisters, your modesty. Imam Hussein gave all of this in the way of Allah. And so we find when people say, why did Imam Sajjad keep crying? And this goes further. Why did Sayyidah Fatima keep crying after Rasulullah? Didn't she know her neighbors are getting disturbed? Does Fatima need our permission? The wahi was revealed in her house. Rasulullah is her father. She needs someone's views to know what to do. Sayyidah Fatima's crying was not just crying for her Messiah, which was great. Sayyidah says herself, if my Messiah fell on the mountains, they would crumble. If my Messiah fell on the day, it would turn into night. But she's awakening your consciences. When those people in Medina heard her cry, this is why they would object, because they would remind her. Bibi Fatima's crying reminded them, what are you doing wrong? Why is Fatima crying? Why is it out till today? We don't know where Sayyidah Fatima is buried. She knew what she was doing. She was doing it for the Imam of her time. And so we find in the time of Imam Sajjad, he cried because of the Messiah, yes, but he also cried to point towards the reason, why am I crying? You see, today, the Eid al-Ghadir, the word Mawla is interpreted in many ways. Imam Sajjad made sure I will cry for 34 years after Karbala. So no one can forget what happened on Ashura. Where before Imam Hussein, this person is Radiallah, that person is Radiallah. But after Imam Hussein's sacrifice, you are either Husseini or Yazidi. There's no in between. Imam Hussein exposed Yazid for he was. And like we mentioned, it's a domino effect. You find out who put Yazid in power, and then who put that man in power, and it will lead you for the truth. For only those who listen can truly understand. So we finish up with this narration where Imam Sadiq mentions there are 5 people who cried the most. No one has cried more than these 5. Who are they, Ya Aba Abdullah? He said the first is Nabi Adam. The way he cried for 40 or so years, no one cried more than him. The second is Yaqub, where the Quran mentions he cried so much, his eyes turned white. The third is Nabi Yusuf, his son, who when he was put into the prison, he cried and cried. He's the third one. The fourth one is Sayyidah Fatima. So the narrator says, I asked Imam Sadiq, why is Bibi Fatima in this list? She only cried for 3 months. Nabi Adam 40 years, Hazrat Yaqub how many years, Hazrat Yusuf how many years? Why is Bibi Fatima in this list? Imam Sadiq would say, don't look at how long she cried, look at how much she cried at that time. And the fifth is Sayyidul Sajideen, but I would say Sayyidul Sabirin. Imam Hussein's daughter is who? Bibi Sakina bintul Masa'ib. His sister Bibi Zainab is al Masa'ib. His son Sajjad is Ibn al-Masa'ib, the son of tragedy. Which is why we find when Imam Sajjad would come back to Medina, he would go into the shops of the butchers and ask them, when you killed this animal, did you make sure he had water? They said, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, we always made sure he had water. When you killed this animal, did you make sure your blade was quick and fast and not blunt? Yes, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, we made sure. When you killed this animal, did you make sure the other animals were not watching? Yes, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, we made sure the other animals were not watching. And so Imam Sajjad would begin to cry, oh my father Hussein, when they killed you in the state of being thirsty, whilst your sister Zainab was watching, whilst they were killing you thinking it's a form of ibadah. Oh my father, how mazloom are you? But to be finished with this, Imam Sajjad saw many masayibs. He saw the likes of Ali Akbar come, when he would kiss his hands, and he would kiss Imam Sajjad on the forehead. And Imam Sajjad would say, Ali Akbar, where are you going? He would say, Baqiya Abuna, Ghariban, Mazluman, Atshana. Oh my brother Sajjad, I am going to help our father, the lonely, the thirsty, the one without a helper. And so Imam Sajjad would hug Ali Akbar. And the narration mentioned they cried so much, they wouldn't let go.